Oh, I'm Kirt and my wife Brenda.
Hi.
We moved here about 5 years ago to Colorado. The weather out here is new to us, and the first year we realized we probably ought to get a greenhouse so that we can keep things growing a little longer, because the growing season here is what?
About 135 days.
May to September.
The growing season is very short here compared to California. In California, you just go stick something in the ground and you walk away and you come back and you pick your vegetables. Here it's very time consuming and a lot of attention needs to be paid. So we got the greenhouse to make it a little bit easier and to extend the growing season.
And I really don't remember how many greenhouse brands I looked at, but the big thing was, can it handle snow? And can it handle a lot of wind? Because we're out here in the high desert and the wind, it's just non-stop. And so I wanted it to stand up to wind, and we can get some pretty good snow drifts out here, 3-4 feet, sometimes 5 feet high. Just the drifts, not that much snow on the ground, but just because of the combination of the wind and the snow, it can stack up. So it needed to handle that. I mean, there's one picture you guys have on your website of like 30 people sitting on top of your greenhouse, which I don't have the nerve to climb up and do myself. But that was pretty impressive that it's that strong.
Wasn't sure what to do for a foundation, and I was looking at a lot of your website, everything I could. And out here the soil is clay, so a lot of movement in the wintertime. And so I dug down all 4 corners, 3 feet past the frost line, and put in pillars of cement with rebar, and then filled the perimeter with a 10-inch wide base, and put wood on top of that, and then mounted this on top. That's the pillar that goes down 3 feet, and it's all tied together with rebar. And we've had really big winds out here.
60 mile an hour, at least.
And no problem.
Our tomatoes last year were like up here. This year I'm hoping to have a little more control with them and see if I can make them last into the winter, into the early winter this year. So we'll see. It's only my 2nd year, so I'm still experimenting. Last year all I had was tomatoes in here, and so this year I'm trying different things. So we'll see how it goes, but it's looking great so far. It's just the beginning. I think I've only planted these a couple weeks ago, so we're just starting again.
We had to add the fans back there. They're temperature controlled, so it gets pretty warm here when the sun does come out. It's pretty warm, so it'll get up to about like 100, 104. It can get, without the fans, it'll get up to 120. So we wanted to keep it cool in here. And then we got the heater that you guys recommend, and that helps us when it gets cold out here. This required 240, so we've got 2 circuits coming here. One is just a regular 110, so that Brenda can have her heating pads for when she does the seeds, and I don't know what else do you use that for? Yeah, seeds, and then the 240 to run the heater. We also have everything on drip on a valve that goes to this bed, and then this also goes out to our raised beds outside the greenhouse. We were on vacation, and a neighbor was watching the house for us, and she sent us a picture, which I sent you guys, of the hail that was that big around, and it was really unusual. We had a whole lot of damage to our vinyl fence. There's just holes everywhere in our fence, like a couple $1,000s worth of damage. And so we came home and we're like, what's the greenhouse gonna look like? And there's some spots where it perforated the outside but didn't come all the way through. So I just put some clear silicone on the outside just to seal it up so we wouldn't get water down in the channels. But I was pretty surprised that there weren't any holes all the way through. There should have. Since our fence was damaged, I figured the whatever you call this stuff, I figured this would go right through it. But nope, it held up. The rabbits are a problem. They'll dig it up to the roots. and eat away.
That's why we like our greenhouse.
Yeah, they can't get in the greenhouse.
Every night we close the door, and I do open it in the daytime because it gets really hot in the summertime, so that just helps it cool down faster.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think about that. That is a benefit. It just keeps the pests out. And there's plenty of them around.
And it's warm in the winter.
Yeah. It wasn't, you know, there's a whole lot of screws to put together on this thing, but I built it by myself. I didn't, you know, I wouldn't recommend that. Two people is best, but I built
helped a little.
She helped a little carry some of the frame out to here. But once I got two of them up, the rest was pretty easy to do by myself. So that was neat. The instructions are clear, so that was handy. I didn't work on it non-stop, but got the frame up, and yeah, about 3 days. It just looks cool.
Yeah. People are jealous. I'm not a feely person too much, but I just pride of all that we've accomplished and how it's just cute and pretty, and I don't know, it's, you know, like the she shed they talk about, you know, it's kind of how you feel. It's just fun to be here, and yeah, and come out and see what you've grown and how big things are getting, and it's just exciting.
I definitely recommend Planta.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like we buy a lot of different greenhouses, but we did a lot of research, and this
Lived
has
up
been
to it.
lived up to it holds up to the weather, and it's a good one for Colorado, that's for sure.
Yeah.